Jewelry, by BDK, handmade magic in every hue, color in the beat, story in the line, art on your skin, let your spirit shine. Jewelry by BDK, bold, divine, crafted with love, one beat at a time. Wear your truth, let your style speak loud. This is jewelry by BDK. Stand strong, stand proud.
Well, hey family, welcome to Focal Friday. This is Darlene stopping by real quick. So what I did is I took a piece of soft leather and I went ahead and rolled it. So I cut it. There's a video. I'll attach it. I took a piece of leather, went ahead and cut it, and I glued it with E6000. Not the whole way down, but just enough, kind of spotting it. And then on the end, making sure to glue the end down because I want the end to be secure. So this is going to be our focal bead. But what I'm going to do, let me find a piece of wire. Let me put a piece of wire through it because I want my hole to stay open. I don't want the hole to close. So that's one thing you got to do when you, there we go. You got to do when you do the leather beads like this, you want to make sure to put something inside it so it keeps the hole open. So when you get ready to bead it with the stretch cord, you can easily slide it through because it's like the hole will be stretched out enough. You see that? So as long as you can keep that hole open, if not, it'll more than likely be a little bit difficult for you to, be putting that stretch cord in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close the ends because I'm going to wrap this leather with some of this aluminum cord. So I'm going to just go ahead and close the ends down pretty large because I don't want the wire to come off. Go ahead and cut that there. And then just go ahead and close it like that. And then that way it keeps the wire through it while I'm working with it, and it keeps my hole wide open. I have some, where's my aluminum wire? Oh, I have some aluminum wire. I got a little bit left of this tricolor. So I'm going to go ahead and, let me see what side I want to use. Let's do, I'm actually going to cut it about right here because I want to start with the yellow part of it. So I'm going to take that off. And let's see, let's cut us a piece. I actually may have did that wrong. Let's do, because I want some of the other color on here too. So I might have to cut it roundabout. And either way, I could still use this wire for something. I'll find something to use it for. Wrap it around something. I'll do something with it. So don't worry about it. It's not wasted wire. I think I can cut maybe about right here. And let's see. Hopefully that works out for me. And then I'm going to just take the wire. I'm going to leave this rolled up. And I'm going to just start wrapping this wire like I wrap the wood beads. That's what I'm going to do to this leather piece. So I'm going to take a piece of wire and I'm just going to start wrapping. And because the leather is pretty soft, it's going to probably dent it in a little bit. And I'm going to do my best to kind of keep it from like smashing it. So all I'm going to do is take this wire. Let me do this part first. So let's take the end and just go ahead and roll it closed. Hold on a second. I don't want it in my leather. So I'm going to just roll it nice and close like that. So then we'll go ahead and put it back on here. And then we're going to make a real pretty bracelet. So we're going to put that there. And then we're just going to start wrapping that wire. Make sure it's snug enough though, because we don't want nothing coming apart. And I don't want that under. I want that up like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start taking the wire, and I'll come back around and perfect it, like close it down and do all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to start taking this wire and like folding it, you know, like how I do on those beads. And we're just going to do this on the leather. So we'll smash that on there like that. Take that wire, bring it around a little bit. Start wrapping it like that in them circles. Close it round on it. And this will give you like a really cool focal. And it's leather. So we're just going to bring it around and see how we got these two right here. We're going to try to bend it up in there and wrap that wire down round up inside to fill that in, right? Bend that wire again. Flatten it the whole time as we go. And you can see how it's starting to look. And then we're just going to wrap. I did want some of this color right here too. We may not be able to get none, but that's still cool. This part right here, we want to make sure that it's nice and closed into the leather to where it almost like, not almost, but it literally smashes into the leather because it's closed on there so good, right? And that's what we want. So you want to make sure it's nice and tight on there. And if you want to, you could even come back with thinner wire and just kind of thread around and do all that if you really wanted it to be even more secure. But, you know, I've done these before, and as long as you wrapping it around the bead tight enough and you're smashing it into the leather, they last really good. So just making sure, you know, to close them, those ends into the leather. So like close it right into the leather. Try not to damage the aluminum, because you know how aluminum does. And then we'll still end up with a nice focal. So we're just going to go around. And I do want to wrap right here. I want to do almost like a circle and put my thumb on it. And this is how that'll look. And then bring it back around, right? And then up in here is a little space. So I can bend that wire like that. And then it comes back around so you can see how it actually looks. And then now we can bring it around the bottom, and we are going to get a little bit of the pink, so that's good stuff. And we're going to finish it right in this little area right here. So we're going to cut it and then round it and close it off right here. The reason why we're going to do that is because if we go any further, it's really not any room, because right here we got to close it off. So if we close it off, it's really not going to fit right there. However, it will fit here, it meaning the closed end of the wire. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and clip the end of the wire like that. And as long as everything looks filled in, that's all we want. And it looks nice and neat. So I'm going to go ahead and close the wire down. Just roll it. And make sure you're rolling it nice and closed. Not into your leather though, but nice and closed like that, right? No pokey ends or anything. And then all you're doing is going to smash that wire. We'll take it up a little bit and smash that wire into that leather like that. And it makes it nice and secure. So this gives you a nice little focal. So you can do a nice leather focal bead. I'll call it a bead, leather bead. And you can use that aluminum wire because aluminum wire does really well and it looks good. And all I'm going to do, fold the end into the wire. Fold the wire ends into the leather. So we want it nice and closed, right? We don't want nothing sticking up. This is not lifted or anything. It's like literally into the soft leather, right? And then this is what we can do for our focal. And then we're going to take these beads right here that are hand painted, and we're going to actually start beading and make us a really cool bracelet. And focals are I don't want to say they're easy. You just got to kind of think through them. I mean, if you're doing statement jewelry, you got to kind of really think through them. And it's like, okay, what is it that I can use that will create a really cool focal piece, right? So that's like even this little bead right here, I can probably glue something on top of here to like really make this a cool focal. You know, like I could really find some way to, it could be like a pin, it could be a pendant, it can be not a pendant, but like a lapel pin of some kind. You can glue that on top of, find the right glue, and you can glue that on top of here. You can find like all different type of things where you could just make, you know, like some really cool focals. Because I do know like the focal to me makes the bracelet, right? And that's like even charms. You could even make like really cool big charms, like something like this, and add something onto it, like glue it onto it, wrap it around it with wire or something. Because people like really big pendants that are big like this and stuff. So, you know, it's all about your market, whoever your market is. And believe me, there is a market for just about anything that you can make. I was looking at something the other day, and I was looking at, you know, like how the women dress and stuff. And I'm like, nobody could tell me that women do not like to be bold in their dress. They like big, bold, crafty, beautiful quality pieces, you know, and especially if they're part of any type of religious organization and that's where they dress. Because I looked at two ladies on Sunday. They hats, because I was at a different congregation. Their hats was matching, their clothes was matching, their purse, their shoes, their fingernail polish, like everything was just blinged out and big. Everything was big and blinged out, like, and I was just like, wow, how cool that is. And when I'm looking at them, I'm thinking to myself, nobody could tell me that you know, big and statement is not in. I know better. It's just a certain market, and you just have to find that market. But let's do, because they are definitely out there, okay? That they are definitely out there. And guess what they doing? They looking for you, just like you looking for them. They looking for you, but they are definitely looking for quality, okay? They want something that's pretty. They want something that nobody else has. And when I looked at them, I thought that on Sunday, it's like their whole thing is they want something that don't nobody else have. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. And the hole should be pretty open. And I should be able to get my cord through. I'm hoping and praying that I can. Should be able to get my cord through. Yeah, got my cord through. So as long as you keep something, if you working with the leather, as long as you keep something in there, that'll keep that hole open. So you see how hard it looks like it would be to find the hole? That's why you got to keep something in it when you, when you make these leather beads. So we are going to add just some gold beads on the sides to get us started. I like that already because there's just enough bead. And you know what? I think I want to add I got these little bitty beads up here too, but they might be too small. And then they might match perfectly, right? So we're going to do that like that. How cool is that? And you know what we might do? Do I got some more gold beads up here? Yep, got another gold bead. But do I have another bead? Do I have another gold bead? Yeah, we got another gold bead. So we're going to put another gold bead. And we will use another gold bead. And I'm really digging the way that looks right there. So then what we're going to do is we're going to take our beads. These are 20 millimeter hand painted beads. We just going to kind of mix them all up. Do I want to start with this one? Yeah, I want to, wait, do I want to start with this one or do I want to start with this one? I'm going to start with this one. So we'll put one of these. Do one of these. And I like that. That's like really cool. And then I almost kind of don't want the gaps on the side like that. So I think I kind of want to, all right, let me try something because I don't want the, I know it looks cool like that, but I kind of don't want the gaps on the side like that. So give me a second. Let's do this. We're just going to put one gold on the side. And then we'll put a gold on the side. I mean, not the gold, but, and see, that's better to me. Yeah, that's better. And wait a minute, let me maybe try though with one of these. We can use these as spacers to see how they work out. And if they don't work out, guess what? We'll take them off. No biggie. Okay, we'll do this. Anybody doing any summer events and stuff, like out selling and street fairs or music festivals or conferences or anything? Because there's a lot going on for the summer. I mean, a lot. I'm starting to see, that's really pretty. And I like how these little beads right here, these, I think they're called rondelles. You can see the little shine. I've been seeing a lot of stuff online for different events that are coming up. Especially here, they're like annual events, and they're generally pretty good events, you know, for people to go and to vend at. They're very expensive though, but you know, they're good events to vend at, and they've gotten outrageous with these prices. And when I say they have gotten outrageous, they have literally gotten outrageous with the prices. It's like, how do you expect people to actually, one, I guess, you know, you come up with the money, you more than likely will make the money back because the foot traffic is so heavy. And especially when it's like a 3 or 4 day event, you know, like a weekend event, or that's really pretty. That's really pretty. You know, when it's a weekend event or a 3 day event, like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you know, there's a potential for people to do really, really well, you know, especially if they got good product. Especially if they have good product. And I think that has to be drilled in, that the product has to be quality product and it has to be, you know, different. You can use the same beads, and I say that all the time because you can. You can use the same beads somebody else used. Just be a little bit more creative. And I think it helps if people actually walk out there, go to the different events and walk around and see what's out there and, you know, what people are, that's really cool, right? See what people are selling. I really like that. I'm going to take one of the beads off. But, you know, and see what people are selling. See what, I don't call it competition, but, you know, see what others are selling and make sure when you get ready to go out there and sell, that's really, really pretty. If you're going to be selling, just come, with something different. Especially if it's an annual event. Remember, you can always go to the event's website, and you can go onto their website or their Facebook page, and it will show you generally like the vendors, it'll show you foot traffic, it'll give you a whole archive of what happened that previous year. And you want to take a look at that, who were the vendors. And if you don't plan to do it, like this year, go out there, walk around, see what people are selling, see what's out there, and then for next year, if you want to do it next year, if the Lord allows. So sometimes you got to do a little research and stuff too, not just going out there blind, packing up what you're doing. Like I said in the other video, one lady I saw over the weekend, product that she had earrings, like really beautiful earrings, like all of them were gorgeous, like really pretty and very different and stuff, right? But one particular style of earrings that she had, I was thinking, I think I even commented and told her that too, that one right there, that's a concept and there's a market, and we have to be able to identify the opportunities that connect to markets, right? That's really pretty. Do I got some small brown beads up here? I can make a second bracelet. What do I got up here? Where's all my small little 8mm and 9mm beads at? I don't know where them beads are. I really don't. That's crazy. Because I went through here and I had to clean up some stuff because it was just like so much stuff just like all over the place. And then a lot of the beads I bagged up. I like literally bagged them up in their bags, and I put them in boxes and all that kind of stuff. And I hate to do that because when I do that, I miss those beads, right? Meaning that I can't use them because I'm gonna use these glass beads right here. I can't use the beads because guess what? I don't know where the beads are, and I forget that I even have them. That's the crazy thing about it. That's why I don't like to be packing stuff up and neatly organizing it and doing all that other stuff because it just don't work out for me. I forget. And I'm like, okay, not unless the Holy Spirit will bring it back to my remembrance. Remember you had that bag of beads and it was all those different colors. And I'd be like, you know what, hey, you right. Me find them beads, okay? I just hate putting stuff up because, man, you be wanting to use them, and sometimes you be saving them for special occasions. But for some reason, that special occasion never come around because, forgot you got the beads. So that's why I try to keep everything close. But over, a couple of days ago, I was up in here. Let's see what somebody wants. I was up in here. That is like so cool. I'll be getting a lot of notifications, where people be telling me how much, they like the jewelry. It's a lot of them on here now, but it's other messages too. I would show you guys, but it's other stuff that's personal. Like how people always say they love the creations or they're looking to retire. So they'll be retiring soon. And they used to make jewelry, but then of course, like a job does, it stops you from doing it because by the time you get off from work, you generally tired. You be like kind of burnt out. And especially if you got a family, especially if you have a family. I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use all glass beads. Especially when you got a family, it's like you got to come home, you got to cook, you got to clean, you got to maybe help folk with homework. It's just a lot, and you're tired depending on what type of job that you have. If it's physical, you'd be burnt out physically. If it's a mental type job, that will burn the heck up out of you sometimes worse than a physical job will. And it's like all you want to do is let your brain just rest. Trust me, I already know. I know exactly how that one goes, especially if you have to deal with people and you're over people and, you got to sit in meetings with people that consider themselves the higher ups and sitting in the boardroom. And it's like crazy. It's it burns your brain out. So trust me, I know how it goes. But even with that, we still can't, give them our everything. What movie was that watching? It said that nobody gets. Oh, that was TD Jakes. I had watched something. This was some years back. I'm not even in the video, am I? Yes, I am. I had watched one of his videos like years back, and I remember him saying that about job, husband, wife. He said nobody gets your everything. And I remember that. It's like, you were right about that. I've never been one to be giving my everything anyway. I don't believe in all that, like draining you out. Job, person, kids, none of that kind of stuff. Got to be able to look out for yourself, because at the end of the day, when it all comes down to it, the end of the day, when it all comes down to it, yeah, nobody saying, well, I didn't ask you to. I didn't tell you to. Oh, yeah, that match is really good, right? Those glass beads. That's a really nice set, and it does not need charms. So I think we're going to go with this one, but I do need one bead that has a big hole. So we're going to take that one off. And see, usually in this bowl right here, I have a bunch of small wood beads, like the 8 millimeters, I think, 9 millimeter beads. And then that way the colors generally will match anything that I'm doing, and the hole is big enough to where I can actually grab one of those beads and throw it on the end and, just kind of tie it closed. So I'm going to have to find those beads, because right now I need one of them. But I can't tell you where they are. If you came in here and you said, Darlene, I'll give you $1,000 to tell me what them beads are, I'd lose out on $1,000 because I don't know where they are. But I do know I packed them up. And that's why I don't like to be packing stuff up. But stuff be everywhere, right? And then you just be like, you know what? I can't have this stuff everywhere like this. But you know what? I have to have that stuff everywhere like that. If not, I won't be able to use it. It's like now I'm looking at my little spot over here. I'm like, man, where's all my beads at? Where's all my stuff at? Come on now. Okay, well, I'm going to just tie this one. And we just used a bunch of glass beads for this one. I probably won't keep this bracelet. And if I do, I'll take it apart and then just find another, like a little wood bead to put on the bottom or something. Because this can actually be a 3-piece if you think about it, right? We can actually take this and turn it into a 3-piece, but the 2-piece looks pretty good. This little phone be hot. Y'all little phone be hot too, hush. Okay, y'all little phone be hot too, hush. And I got everything connected to the phone, like emails. I mean, like everything comes to this phone. And then I got it set to where no matter what the notification is, the sound is the same for everything. And then that way I just got to check it. Because if I got it on there for, something that you really want to know about, right? You'll be only checking that. But if you got one little notification like what I have on there for everything, it forces me to have to check everything that comes through. So anyway, this is what we got. This is our focal. So we went ahead and made us a really cool focal, and this is for Focal Friday. So we just took, this is really pretty, right? That's really pretty. We just took a piece of soft leather. We went ahead and cut it. There's a video. I'll connect that up here. We cut it, glued it down with some E6000, made sure to put some E6000 on the end of it, stuck it down. And I generally will let stuff like dry 24 hours, right? And then I make sure with the leather, I always make sure to take some type of, generally, some wire. Aluminum is really good because it's thick. Put the aluminum wire through the hole, let that sit in it because it does like stretch out the hole and keep the hole as the hole. So when you get ready to use the pendant, that hole is already there and it's easy for you to thread it. But if not, it'll be hard for you to find, because even like right there, see, that would be hard for you to find the hole if you don't have something there, and then you'd be messing something up. But this is what the focal looks like. That's really cool. This is a really pretty bracelet. This whole set is really cool, right? This whole set is really nice. And these are just the glass beads. Simple and easy. And it don't take a whole lot. Just knowing which beads you want. And see how these little rondelle beads shine? Like it gives just enough shine. Not too much. It's like just enough to give you some bling. So if you're outside somewhere at an event or something, the sun would hit them. And it would give them just enough shine. And then you got the glass. How cool is that, right? Anyway, Darlene Knight for Jewelry by BD Ken. Guess what? What up?